Hey everyone, Gil here at Camppatton Family Compound. It is time for the Monday Night Fireside Chat, and tonight's topic, besides a bunch of stuff, is weather on your mind? Because it sure is on mine. How's everybody doing out there? Get my hat straightened up here. All righty, we got just a few comments scrolling on by here. All righty, excuse me. Need to get more water here. Yeah. For the rest of this week and next week, I'm going to probably have a frog in my throat because as soon as I get rid of it, one of the grandkids are going to give it right back to me because I'm babysitting them all this week and next Monday as well. All righty, so let's say hi to everybody that's out there. First one in was Walt Rogers, followed by Troop 1351 and Phelan Clan Wolf, who is lurking while he's wrenching on something. Cool. Cruising is fun anytime is here. CR, that's Creative Redundancy from north of the border. Duncan 1900 Homestead is in the house. Tibor is in the house. Mary Beth Smith is here. And scroll on down here. Hopefully I don't miss anybody. Jay is in the house. And everybody's just talking there. And Alicia is here. And did I say Mary Beth Smith? I think I did. I'm just a little bit worn out tonight. My brain got so much use today. Yeah, oh yeah, they also run from wildfires and tree huggers too. All right. So I got some good news. We got the numbers for tonight. And everyone's going, what are you talking about? What the numbers? You'll see in just a second. I'm just catching up here on some of the interesting things on the side chat. Ohio just passed 2 new laws. Voting, photo ID needed. Yes. And it should say on the photo ID whether they are a U.S. citizen or not. And then no phone in hand while driving. And of course, what most people don't know is 99% of those laws about nothing in their hand has exemptions in it for law enforcement and professional drivers and company drivers and stuff like that. Hey, oh, and here's Howie. Food Forest Permaculture is in the house. All righty, so let me take this, and I'm going to take myself, and I'm going to move myself over this way. There we go. There we go. All right, so tonight's topic is a continuing topic. It was going on last Friday. In a side chat. But first, we're going to talk about the weight loss challenge. Woo, 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 woo. And I'm going to bring myself back up here so I can bring up the proper numbers over here. Okay, so interesting numbers sitting in here. For the last 3 weeks, the ungrateful losers have been stuck at a total team weight of 1,144 pounds for the last 3 weeks. Talk about hitting a wall. Boom. Here we go. The collective has a total collective team weight of 1,368 pounds. By the way, they have one more person than the Ungrateful Losers do. So, hey, if anybody wants to join the Ungrateful Losers, come on our team. You're more than welcome. Hey, Christy Betts, how's it going? So, as it stands right now, the collective has lost. Trying to get the read right. Actually, I'm looking at this thing here. It can't be right. I'm double checking something here. Yes. The collective has lost 1 more pound than the Ungrateful Losers have. So basically, they're pretty much neck and neck there, going back and forth there. So that's one of the cool things going on there. One of the things I have noticed in my diet, I started to gain some weight. And I got it back off again this week, plus a pound. When I fixed either the spinach or the broccoli, usually, I have it frozen, pull it out, break off some stuff, put it in a bowl, put it in the microwave. The instructions say to add water to it and maybe add a little butter to it. Well, instead of adding the water to it, what I've been doing is I've been adding 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil and a tablespoon of red wine vinegar to it, and then I cook it up in the microwave and stuff. And I'm feeling really good afterwards. I don't feel quite so bloaty. And Gardner Josh is in the house now, and is Doris Artman. Did I miss somebody else? They just went up several times. So I'll make sure I caught everybody there. Okay, I think that's all everybody's in here now. If I missed you, say, go ahead and type in there, hey, you missed me. All right, so as far as dieting, that's helped out. And so I'm back to myself. I'm back down on the losing weight again here. And a half pound more, and I will be able to take another pound off. I love my new scale. That balance arm scale is so much more precise than the spring-loaded scale I had. It is absolutely, and plus I use it for weighing vegetables and stuff up to 400 pounds. So, but yeah, it's because it's a balance. There's no spring in it. It's all mechanical balance. So you just slide the weights across, and it has a marking. You see, okay, that's how many pounds it is, and that's how it goes. And so I'm down to, get my numbers right, 195 and a half pounds this afternoon before I took my shower. So, of course, if I scrubbed off a bunch of dirt, I might have lost a little bit. Oh, well, anyways, let's get back to the to tonight's topic here. So, do you have weather on the mind? One of the things we've been having around here lately, actually, we were supposed to be getting snow the last several days. We've got no snow. Cross your fingers, knock on wood, and hopefully we'll keep the snow gone. However, yesterday and then today, and then it slacked off, and it's coming back in tonight and tomorrow. We got high wind warnings. So, I'm going to make a political statement. Certain professional politicians are opening their mouths, and strong winds will be blowing across the United States. All right. So what is my weight goal? My weight goal is 165. I want to get down to 165. I was at 150 pounds when my wife and I got married. So, and she kept saying that I was a little too skinny at the time. All right. Doris says unexpected snow this morning, about 5 to 6 inches. Ouch. Yeah. Yeah. So like when I get done here tonight, I'll go outside and I'll check to see if any of the snow's starting to come down. No snow. I'm going to wait a while. And before I go to bed, I'll go out and check it. And then if there's snow starting to come down, I have several new bags of ice melt and ready to go. And I'll go out and sprinkle some snow back patio, the front walkway, and the walkway portion of the driveway up to the street. So, hey, Jujubee. All right, we're picking up more here. All righty, so let's go to the next slide here. So, are you looking at winds, clouds? Of course, this is from 2 days ago. This is, tracking the. I like this. This one actually said strong, long track tornadoes, not just the ones hitting, touching down, and disappearing. These are the ones that are coming down and acting like a freight train going through places. And so anyone that was caught in that area, our thoughts are with you. And I'm sorry, I just read Jay's comment there. And so going through there, this is just a bad section right now. Now, I did hear something on one of the weather news YouTube. One of the things that they've noticed is over the last several decades, that track is slowly moving east, slowly, right? But the central track of Hurricane Alley is moving eastward. Okay, yeah. All depends what system you use to look at things, and you got to learn to know what their colors are if you're tracking it. And yeah. Oh, okay. So I'm between Blackfoot and Idaho Falls there, where it's brown, which means we got no precipitation the last couple of days. Woohoo! Lucky us. This is one I did not know about. In these upper states, the average number of tornadoes from 1992 to 2021, so it's a year or so old. So these are the average numbers for these states here. So I didn't realize that these upper states here were getting tornadoes. All right, and along with tornadoes, and they were talking about that is, that's another video I need to tell you all about here in a second. Is the tornadoes just don't have high winds; they come along with a whole bunch of other stuff that goes along with them. But high winds, even without tornadoes, are causing damage all over the place. Was it Sunday and Monday? No, it was Saturday and Sunday. White Family Farm was without power. And if you live near the coast, the water, it can get whipped into big waves by the wind as well. And if it's just raining in your area, don't expect still water to be shallow. Still water runs deep. Okay, so got to be careful with that. There's another view of the tornado alley. Now, while weather and the formation of some of these storms can be quite beautiful, I mean, you look at the formations and stuff and the weather patterns stuff, how it affects the clouds and stuff, can be quite beautiful, but it also can be quite deadly. One of the side effects of tornadoes is hail. Now, just because you're having hail doesn't mean there's a tornado around, but generally if there's a tornado, there's going to be hail, generally. And of course, lightning is always spectacular to watch. You just don't want to get hit. And Suzanne Goulet just joined us. Woohoo! Vineyard Chicks just got done. All righty. And let's see here. And of course, some people like, Doris are still getting snow. Hey, Steph, Idaho Garden Girl, how's it going? So yeah, so there is a real mishmash of weather going on all over the United States. Get rid of that, get that down, and that up there. So yeah, it's what's going on is really weird. Okay. One of the videos I saw today was put out by Doc Bones and Nurse Amy. And hang on a second, let me dig in here. And I'm going to see if I can bring that up here. Because it was well worth watching. So Nurse Amy. Boom. All right. Okay, so the video was tornado survival with Dr. Joe Alton, and let me grab the link. I'm going to throw the link down here below. If you get a chance, you may want to check it out. Good information, and like Joe was saying, he goes between tornadoes and hurricanes, he'd rather be in a hurricane because hurricanes generally give you a lot of warning. You can evacuate. Hey, Tammy at Rebel Canners is in the house. Rachel Knight is here as well. And who else did it? Did I miss anybody else popping in? So, but yeah, and like I commented in this video, yeah, tornadoes are nasty. I don't want to be around one of them, but I'd rather be in an earthquake than a hurricane. Because an earthquake isn't going to drown me. A hurricane might drown me. And of course, a hurricane can also throw a car at you too, just like a tornado can. All righty. So let me go ahead and pull that one down there. So that was one of the ones out there. And it's time. We're going to do time to give away a $5 Amazon gift card. So let me get this thing here going. I got to change the present thing here because I got to make sure I have the sound going for it. And here we go. So I just updated it. So this is the list of all of our current members. I haven't had a chance to adjust that stream going across the bottom. So let's see who wins, if they're here, a $5 Amazon gift card. Troop 1351. I know they were in here at the beginning. Let's see if Troop 1351 is in here. Let me check around and check on the other computer, see if I can bring their name up. Okay, it shows them still in there. So waiting for Troop 1351 to say something here. And not sure if they are here. Okay, Phelan's here, but that's not Troop. Yeah, I know you're still here, but I'm not sure about the Troop. Okay, let's give the Troop another minute here. And I put the link out there, up there, and I want to see if, let's see here, where is it? Oh, over here on this one here. The link to come up here, I am adding it to, pinning it to replace the other one. So the link is up above for those that want to come in up here that are there, and let's see here. Okay, still looking for Troop 1351. Oh, CB is in the house. Hugo Homestead is here. Oh, and there's Troop 1351. Okay, all righty. So I'm going to write it down so I don't forget. So the first wheel is Troop 1351. And from my understanding, every time they win something here, they actually buy one of those little camp stoves when they're under $5 to give to one of the scouts. So that's cool. All righty, so let's go ahead back to here. And so I got the link in there. If CR or anybody else wants to come on up here, there's the link. And Q has joined us. So I take it then that Yossi in the Simple Kitchen has gotten done with his live stream. He was talking about the history of Passover. For those of you who want to know what the history of Passover is from the Jewish population perspective, which is, since it's a Jewish holiday, you may want to go back and watch that later. Hey, Pastor McQuaddy. All righty, so yeah, the weather here. Actually, let me go ahead and pull my weather up over on this side here and hit a refresh on it. I can tell you guys what's going on here with my weather here. And this is almost, to quote Uncle Al at Die Bullfrog 79, it's washing machine weather. All right, so right now it's 33 degrees here, still above freezing. We have winter weather advisory out until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's increased. It was at 30%. It's now up to 70% likelihood of snow tonight. It says snow likely before 4 a.m. And now we have a total nighttime accumulation of 1 to 2 inches when before it was a ½ inch possible. So in the last 4 hours, it's upped the ante here on us, and they're saying we're definitely going to get it. 70%. And so we've got wind gusts high as 21 miles tonight. That's why, the winds right now are blowing from the south-southwest, and later tonight they're going to switch around and come in from the north after midnight. So, hey, Shadow Scout Sweet is in the house. See anybody else? Okay. So I'm going to go on the other computer over here because I got the weather for where my wife is at up there all the time. So I see how things going with her. So right now it's 52 degrees there in the San Francisco Bay Area. The low tonight is 39. High tomorrow is 59. Low 38. So it's going to get a little bit chilly tomorrow night, and then it's going to go it's warming up more. 62 on Wednesday, 64 on Thursday, and 67 on Friday for my wife. Which means, and then on Friday, the rain comes back. So they have rain on Friday and Saturday, and then mostly clear again. Of course, after the rain, the highs drop down a bit, but actually, no, it doesn't. The high keeps going up, so I was looking at the lows. So where my wife is at, it's going to go from Saturday is 71, Sunday 76, Monday 78, and she's mad because she was complaining last week about it being being in the morning when she gets up, being about 56 degrees in the house. Because she doesn't want to pay the huge bill for the gas and electricity to run the furnace. Pacific Gas and Electric's like a bandit with sticking them up. Skinner Farms is in the house. Woo! Oh, okay. So on the other side of the great state of Idaho, Steph says they got windy and snow flurries there. All right. Trying to keep up the chat. Just started going. And Garden State Gardener's in the house. All right. And so there's interesting stuff going on. Now, back in the beginning, like I said, the link's out there at the top of the chat if anybody wants to come up here. One of the things I mentioned at the beginning is, my brain got a little fried today. I've a lot of I'm writing a bunch of different novels at the same time. I'm trying to get about 10 of them finished about the same time, so I can ready to start putting them out there, either on Amazon for either for the Kindle or for public, hardback or softback publication, or getting a publisher to start publishing them and kicking them out, or to set them up over a publisher that I can order them through if people want to buy them directly from me. So that's one of the things I'm working on. Well, I was working on one of my original books called Myth Lore, and yeah, it's a big one and it's a complicated one. And basically, for Myth Lore, let me see if I can. I can't bring it up here, but I can bring it up on that computer. I'll just have to move my camera to show you. So on this one here, I need to get up the tracker. Okay, so come on, scroll up to the top so I can get it started. And I need to enlarge this here. There we go. So I'm going to move this camera here. There we go. Move this camera here over here so I can show you this one here. Now, I can get it centered here so I can just get it looking right. So this is what I use for tracking all the people. I got their names over here of every character in the book, and a little bit of history about them, and other different things that has to go with the book. I'm going to start scrolling down here, and right here is where I get over here. Right here, this column here, this number here is the numbers of the people on the spaceship that went to the New World. So going down, we're in the 80s now, the hundreds, 200 items to deal with. All right, those actually it's 201 people on the spaceship. And I need to change this numbering down here for the months of the year where they're at. And then I got all these other characters and items and stuff I got to deal with in that. Now we're getting to the clans, all the clans and stuff, and then other people and stuff. And so, yeah. So I'm down to row 423 right there. And what makes this book, I have several tracking things like that. I have that one just tracking people. Then I have another one that's tracking dates. And that's all it does is tracking dates. Hey, Helda Garden, how's it going? Hey, Cindy Squirrel, welcome, welcome. And so in this book here, the reason why it's so difficult, just to give you a quick update on what that is, and then we'll do another little drawing here. The book is called Myth Lore. And Myth Lore is, it's a journey through time and magic. And basically, it starts out. The book starts out in chapter 1, about 150 years from now, and thinking about how science is advancing over the last 150 years. Imagine where we're going to be in 150 years from now. Well, they've created. We have spaceships. We're starting to go out to other solar systems. We've been sending unmanned ships to other solar systems. Probes and stuff. Now we're starting to send the first one with explorers, actually settlers on it, and they're going off to. I forget the name of the planet that's going around Alpha Centauri. That is an M-class planet. And so they're going off to that. One thing loves another. I'm not going to spoil everything on it, but they wind up, instead of going through a wormhole to there, they go through a wormhole to here. Backwards in time, 820,000 years. Fun stuff, huh? So anyway, so working on stuff, and I basically got all of the groups there. There are the humans, earthlings. There are high elves. There are trolls, ogres. Well, trolls, day trolls, ogres, orcs, goblins, hobgoblins, bobkins, fairies, pixies, dwarves, and then various groups of these as well. And then there are the humans that are on the planet itself, the clans, the farmers. And there on the with the elves, there is the high elves of the Latinica, the northern snow elves, the southern snow elves, the sea elves, the wood elves of the Briar, and all of these. I've got people interacting from all these and stuff. Then I got the historical going on, and then we have the dragons, which can talk like Smog and do things, but they're not really interacting yet. They're just referenced. And then there is the wizards and sorceresses of Ulton and Zomte Latroth. And so, hey, Moon over Miami. So basically, I'm trying to coordinate all these groups. And of course, you got on planet the most, magic is the most powerful thing. Weapon-wise are swords and shields and bows. And example, the first meeting between the spaceship people and on the ground is when a group of about 60 ogres are attacking a group of 12 high elves, and they're watching. The humans are watching from behind the trees and stuff, watching what's going on top of the hill and stuff. And all of a sudden, one of the elves with their great eyesight spots him. Help! Help! And starts running to him in a foreign language, of course. And then the ogres start running up there, and they get oh crud, okay. And one of the guys stands up, whips out his squad automatic rifle, and starts ripping in. And in a matter of minutes, a couple others join him. A couple of minutes, they've wiped out the 60 ogres, saved the high elves, and the princess is all happy. And so that's how that one goes. But I've been working on stuff going on with that. And David Lynn, Prepper Principal, has just came in and joined us. And Suburban Hillbillies here. All right. So that's what I've been doing most of today and yesterday, was doing editing on that book and straightening out some of the timeline oopses I made. And so having to pull certain chapters broken up into little sub chapters, pulling some from one chapter date, putting in another chapter date, so it has a smooth timeline. Sort of like what's going on behind me. Everything's all mixed up. And I still have the link out there if anybody wants to come up here and talk about the weather in their area. But all right, let's go ahead and let me get something here squared away here. That there, and there. Okay. Let me get something here going. All right, so I got a question from one of my videos earlier, and we're going to see if anybody was paying attention in that video. Yeah, Phelan, I know you're there. I have a bad feeling about him. No, you can't answer stuff before I give the question out. Besides that, you spelled it wrong. All right, time to switch it up because he's jumping the gun there and he thinks he's all smart. Give me a second here. Let me look at one of my videos here and see if I can pull something else up here real quick here. Okay, so okay. Here's one for you. Going to change it up. Ready? Who was my last mail call from? See if anybody picks that one up. Who was my last mail call from? Nope, it was not. No, it was not David. And Idaho Garden Girl got it. It was from Joe, Garden State Gardener. Oh, Jay, that was priceless. Yeah. So, yeah, Garden State Gardener, she got it. And no Tibor, it wasn't from the IRS. The staff sergeant has that handled. All righty. And for those that missed it, I got some cool stuff in there. I got stuff for the grandkids. I got stuff for me, and I got stuff for the staff sergeant. Hang on. Water spouts on the North Shore are quite common. I say them all. All right, cool. All right, so let me put that in there. And so that is for the question of the week goes to staff. All right. All right, Shadow Scout, go ahead and get something here. All righty, so all right, let me get this back over. I get my other stuff for comments down, get the other computer cleared here. Lower that stuff down. I don't need to have that back up there, and that one there. Okay. All righty. Yeah. I mean, so I mean, the weather has been really weird here. I mean, like for the last week, we've been supposed to be getting snow, and by now, we should have had a total accumulation of snow of about 5 or 6 inches over the last week. All the snow on all the concrete is gone. 97% of the snow on the lawn, front and back, is gone. Those big piles of snow off the side of the driveway, I was piling up with the tractor and just pushing and piling those up about 5-6 feet tall, are down to about 2 feet tall, are melted that much. And we got Joe. Woo-hoo.
Hey guys, how you doing?
You got your internet back.
Yes, it's nice to have it back.
For those that don't know, Joe lost it on Sunday, the internet.
Yeah, we had a tornado half a mile from my house. All trees are all down everywhere. So a lot of roads were blocked off. Most of the roads, you had to go down certain avenues, and it was like I can't get out of here. How do I get out of here? Because everything was blocked off. Yeah, it was pretty nuts. Half a mile from my house was unbelievable. But everything's
Joe
good.
Froze. I froze for a second. And Joe's starting to move. There he goes. He's moving again.
Yeah, everything is it's funny because my neighbors in front of me and behind me had no electricity, but my side had electricity. It went back and forth a little bit for a while, went off for a little bit, came back on. But it took a while for all the neighbors to have their electricity come back on. So, but everybody's okay. There was actually 4 hurricanes in New Jersey, which was pretty odd.
Wow.
So there was 2 different ones in my town. There was one right near my work. I guess it was kind of track me, I guess, And there was another one by my wife's work. So it was like, okay, we're gonna try to get you. We're gonna try to get you, but no, but there was 4. And actually,
What
I did see a hurricane once. I was about 10 years old, and I was out
hurricane or tornado?
a tornado. I mean, not a hurricane, a tornado. And I was outside diving in mud puddles, and because I was practicing how to learn how to dive, and what better way to dive in mud puddles. And then all of a sudden, I had a farm in my backyard, but they sold it, and they were starting to make townhouses behind my property. And then all of a sudden, I'm looking up, and I see these things. You see all the clouds coming down from under, and all of a sudden you see starting to go around in circles. Then you see boxes all over the place. And what happened in my backyard, there was a tornado. It hit the shop right first, and then hit the townhouses being built, and they had to redo everything. And then all of a sudden I said, "Hey, Mom, you wouldn't believe what was in our backyard." And this is about 45 minutes later. I said, "I think it was a tornado." She goes, "No way." Then all of a sudden, a little while later, Channel 7 News, Channel 4 News, Channel 2 News. See, I told you that was a tornado.
Well, Joe, I just brought something up here about your state. The average number, on average, there are 3 tornadoes each year in the state of New Jersey. 3. Wow. Since 1950, there's been, it says at least 182 confirmed tornadoes. So if you had 4, you're above average. That means next year you should be a bit safer next year.
We're in good shape.
Brother Donnie's in the house. Prep for Eternity Homestead. Yeah. I mean, so, with all the tornadoes going on, and, right now, the KP index spiked a little bit, got up to 4, and I'm not sure what it did the rest of the day, but Ben Davidson was supposed to be coming down. Whenever it spikes, we get more tornadoes. I mean, because it's the that's the geomagnetic storms coming from the sun, hitting our atmosphere, stirring up the clouds, charging the upper atmosphere. So that's part of what feeds it.
Well, for those that want to check it out too, is if you go to my community page, I have a whole bunch of pictures of some of the damage next door. Yeah. So it's pretty interesting looking at those pictures. It was funny because my wife went to work and she's seeing she took a whole bunch of pictures too, and you see all the trees just totally uprooted, fences totally down.
Well, fortunately, hang on a second, knock on wood, we have not gotten any tornadoes here. They'll put out a tornado warning, and because of the way the valley is here, we're off the track and towards the hills a little bit, and the way the hills kind of jostle out on either side. And so it goes up on the far side of Interstate 15 heading north. Any tornadoes, I kind of go up that way there and put some well away from us so far. Like I said, knock on wood. And this summer, I'm hoping to get the 7 or 8, I forget how many there is out here, big cottonwood trees down, or at least take them from, I think they're about 100 foot up, take them down to at least only 30 feet tall. And, that way at least they'll be strong enough to support whatever wind blows against those. But, I want to get that down for, because if they came over towards the house, they wouldn't quite reach you to the house, but they would take out the far side of the shop.
See, I wish some of the trees would have been taken down in my neighbor's property, so I could plant more food in their property in the backyard, and they would never know it. I got to plant some fruit trees somewhere.
Yeah. You can be a good neighbor, go around to everyone that had trees coming down and recommend to them, hey, get some fruit trees. They don't get that tall, and they give you food.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Wendy from Hardknack Farms is in here. Yeah, I know Wendy had some videos out about some fires in Guthrie, Oklahoma. Somewhere in Oklahoma where she's at. But yeah, it's yeah, Tibor, these cottonwood trees, they've been topped several times before. So I'm going to be taking them down below where they were topped the first time. And as soon as they get topped, then they start, I mean, they're like a bush. They start growing up again and putting out suckers. And then it starts going from the top again, starts sending one up, and it can be done and stuff. But I would personally, I wouldn't mind taking them totally all the way out, but I don't want to take them all out at once. If I take them down, 2/3 of them off of them, and get the company to run all the small branches and stuff through the chipper shredder for a nice compost pile. And hey, Ginger Ninja, and then everything else, cut them up into 24-inch logs for me. They don't even have to split them; just cut them up into 24-inch logs. Then I can. My wife and I are planning on getting a log splitter, anyways. Then I can just go ahead and just split, start splitting that stuff up, and I'll have firewood for probably a good 3, 4, maybe 5 years. Especially if we get the natural gas into the house, that'll make it like 10 or 15 years worth of firewood then, because yeah, because that would get into fire, and the wood burning stove, instead of being our primary, would be our backup.
Hey, Gil, I got an interesting fact. You remember when we had Hurricane Sandy in New Jersey? At the same time, in that whole entire month, we had an earthquake, which was a 5.1, which never happens in New Jersey. We had a 12-inch snowstorm, and we also had the hurricane. So all within like 3 weeks, we had those three things happen, which was all three never happened in the first place.
Right. All right, we're getting 10 minutes up here. I'm going to try. If I wait too much longer, I'll never give it away. People won't be showing up to do it. So we're going to let me do it here. Hey, you can stick around. We're going to give away another $5 Amazon gift card. So let's see who gets it.
Love the music. Love the music.
Oh man, I did not plan. I have no control over the wheel, folks. No control over the wheel. I'm trying to remember the last time that happened. Let me go ahead and put your name on here so I remember to send it to you.
Thank you.
Oh, it was Star. Star was up here. He goes, "I'll be right back," and he just put his avatar up, and he went to do something with the chickens. And I spun the wheel. He came up.
Thank you, Gil, so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Steve, Corsair Trainers is in the house as well. Steve, what's your weather like down there right now in Southern California? Oh, speaking of which, I mentioned it on last Thursday on Gray Man Prepping. A lot of the ski resorts in California, including Southern California, are extending their ski season into May, some into June, and a couple of ski resorts are looking at going into July. One said they're going to be open for the 4th of July, and the other one says they're looking at going to the 15th of July. Getting cold. We had rain earlier today. Okay. So yeah, there's weather is yeah. The last time I remember the ski season going through the end of June was a decade or so ago, as far as I can remember. But they're talking about several of them going through the end of June, and at least 2 of them that were named in the article going into July. Oh yeah, definitely, Steve. Record snowfall this year all over the place. Northern California, Southern California, and of course, Donner Pass.
Hey, Gil, in New Jersey, we had a dusting this year of snow. That's it. We just had a dusting. They didn't get the shovel out, nothing. I
Oh,
never seen that happen before in New Jersey. It was
well,
unbelievable.
I'm trying to remember a couple years back. Well, when I used to have Dave from Southern Ohio prepping up here all the time,
Mhm.
he was always complaining that where he was at, they weren't getting everyone around him. They're like in a little bull valley there, and everyone around that little bull valley was getting snow, and they were getting rain. And he was so excited when they finally got some snow last year that Charles could go out and play in it.
Well, you know what? For New Jersey, the season's not over yet.
Oh yeah,
You never
it's
know.
not. It's not over here. We've had some nice temperatures here. Go ahead and drop that out. Um, but it's like we're supposed to be getting snow tonight and stuff again, and then like on Wednesday night through Saturday is clear, and then late Saturday afternoon, 10% chance of snow, 20% chance of rain, and then a couple clear days again. So I mean, hey, if it wants to rain and not snow, I'm more than happy with that. The rain soaks into the ground fairly quickly and helps refill the aquifer for everybody's water wells.
Right.
And it can go as a storm travels farther east, it can dump all the snow up in the Grand Tetons because that's where the Snake River gets its water from. And that's where we get irrigation from. So if all the reservoirs up there are all full of water come summer, we're looking good down here. Right now we're looking at on a 2-week rotation for our irrigation water.
Here, check this out. I just looked at my forecast. So the low tonight's 28 degrees, right? Now Tuesday, the high 74, Wednesday 67, Thursday 82, Friday 63, 56 in the 60s. So spring is here for at least 10 days.
Yeah. And during that
on Thursday, 82.
Joe, you're going to need to be getting out there with your hoe and weed eater. Start to knock that crap down fast.
I'm working on it. I started yesterday. My body's really sore. And I would have started Saturday, but the weather was pretty bad. But I plan to get out there every day for a while. I'm still seed starting. It's pretty insane.
If it doesn't hang on, I just saw something here. What's that? Okay. I was looking, something in the side chat caught my eye. If it doesn't snow tonight and it's still snowless in the morning, I'll go back out to the backside of the shop, which is on the north side, and see if that snow's melted. Because the last time I was back out there, I took the camera out there, and it was still several feet deep up against the side of the shop, and it was probably like 18 inches deep around the IBC tote planter beds I have back there, and that area is the last spot the snow melts on the property. Because that shop is,
yeah, it's right located there.
It's huge. It's the walls on it are 10 feet tall, and then it goes up to the peak above that. So it's and then you got the trees on the one side there. So that side there gets it doesn't get any morning sun. It doesn't get any afternoon sun until the end of June. So, yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for your, wishing me, well, thanks for all, I don't know what you want to say. Thank you for everybody about that they're glad I'm safe and everything. Your well wishes. Right. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
All right, Joe, thanks for coming up.
I'm still here.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not ready to go yet.
All right. Well, just some people like to jump down when I do this here real quick. So coming up tomorrow night on Gray Man Prepping, the topic is, what are you preparing for? And so we're going to talk about, what people are preparing for. Is it a natural disaster? If it is, Which one? What's common in your area? What would you normally prepare for? Is it economic? Is it medical? Is it just preparing for old age? Yeah. What is it you're preparing for? That's the topic is going to be tomorrow night, and we're going to be bouncing around, hitting a lot of stuff, and pulling a lot of information from the side chat. So,
sounds like a great life.
Yeah. Wendy says she loves her pallet beds. Yeah. One of the things I have found out about pallets, and I never thought about this, tells you where my brain's been at until Anthony at Pimento Prepared put out a video about 9 months ago about why he won't use pallets to make a raised planter bed. Because he used to work where he used to work and stuff. He'd see, the pallets coming in and stuff, and the contents sometimes would leak. Sometimes it would be it would just be like soap or whatever leaking onto the pallet. Other times it would be some really nasty chemicals that you don't want anywhere near your garden. And what most of the time what happens is with these pallets, even if it has stuff leaked on it, they just stack it up, send it back with the truck for go back to the distribution center to have other stuff put on it. So you don't know what's been on those pallets. About the only thing you know of what's been on pallets are the ones that are owned by specific companies such as Quikrete. All there's been on those pallets is cement. And then there's a few other ones that have certain things on there that are, their pallets, they're painted and stuff with their name on it. They don't use anybody else's pallets. They use their pallets only. So even if they had a leak, it's nothing terrible on it. But for the most part, 90% of the pallets out there, you don't know what's been on that pallet during that pallet's lifetime.
What do you think about concrete beds? So concrete blocks to make a bed. What do you think about those?
I have. All right. The cinder blocks have changed over time. Originally, cinder blocks leached out lime and potash and some of the other stuff out into the soil. And it changed the pH of the soil, and sometimes it made the soil kind of toxic. Give everyone an example of this. In certain states, when they're doing concrete work on a state project, a county project, or a city project, the contractor has to provide what's called a washout basin. Basically, it's like they pile up a big old bunch of bales of straw, lay heavy-duty plastic into it, and they wash out into that. So they contain the water and the concrete and everything. Because when it's washed out and thinned down like that, can leach out into the soil more than it once it sets up and is hardened, then it's a totally different animal. But while it's liquid and stuff, it can more easily contaminate the soil. The newer concrete blocks, they're already formed, set, and they're not going to leach much of anything out. The more modern cinder blocks are they're better than the older ones. But if you're going to use them, I would recommend one of two things. One, get something like Thompson's water seal and seal the blocks first before you start stacking them up. Two, get some of the Lowe's, Home Depot, Sherman-Williams, any of the paint stores have garage floor, epoxy paint for putting on the garage floors to be resistant to oil and gasoline and other stuff dripping on it. Paint the blocks with that stuff. That way you have a barrier between the blocks and the soil.
Right.
Also, that barrier keeps the soil moister because the blocks will suck moisture out like you would not believe. Concrete loves to suck moisture out of ground. Okay. If you want to figure that out, just go. If you see a warm piece of concrete, take a cup of water out there and listen carefully as you pour the water on it. You'll hear as it goes, soaks down in, and all the little bubbles start coming up as it fills in the bubble space, the air bubble spaces in the concrete, and it just sucks the water up.
Yeah, I have never did a bed before, so I was trying to think of something that would last. But that totally makes sense. Exactly what you said.
The Thompson's water seal is an acrylic, and if you put it on there and it's thoroughly dried and cured, and you let it air out for a couple days beforehand, it should be okay. Don't quote me on that. I've just looked at a bunch of the MSDS sheets, and it's not that, according to the MSDS sheets, it was just the material safety data sheet. It's not like a Break Clean or even WD-40. So, but the paints for the epoxy paints for garage floors, once they're all cured and set up, I mean, they're water impervious, oil impervious, and so it's made so nothing goes through it. So, personally, I love my IBC tote beds because the plastic on them is food grade plastic. It's like boop boop. Okay, it's food grade. It's good to go.
Hey, Gil, I have a question. What kind of fertilizer are you using for your indoor garden?
All right. On my indoor garden, the soil, I start out with a bunch of soil out of my compost pile. And that's all natural stuff from around here. There is a lot of cow poo in there. There is some rabbit poo in there. And so that's been, a compost pile. I've been working it since I bought the place over 2 years ago. I mix that with the potting mix I get from Sam's Club. And on one of my videos, I read all the ingredients on it. There is no fertilizer in the stuff from Home Depot, the Members Mark potting soil stuff. It's got I always mispronounce it. One type of peat moss that begins with an SP.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
okay.
It's got that peat moss from Canada in it, which means it's on the lower pH scale, which is good because this is high pH soil, and it's also good for blueberries and certain other plants. It has that in there. It has wood chips in there. It has I can't remember. It's a natural mineral, which is good for gardens and stuff.
Azomite?
No, not azomite. I can't remember on the top of my head. But the videos I hear on Camppatton Family Compound. But it's it's really good stuff. I mean, it was better than the stuff. A friend of mine was the head of the horticulture department for the Diablo Valley College system with 30 campuses, and she was recognized by the U.S. Department of Agriculture as one of their go-to people for determining whether or not stuff is an invasive species to come into the United States, because she was always going to South America, to South Africa, to Australia, going to all these countries and checking out the stuff. She'd bring one sample back or two samples back, and they'd have it under quarantine, and she'd do stuff at it there at the college, and then they'd report to the agriculture department. This is a species. Do not allow it into the United States, and she would destroy it. Or this one is not invasive at all. It's it's hard to grow, and it's okay to come here. But she always recommended the Kellogg's brand, not Kellogg's cereal, the Kellogg's mixes, the raised planter bed mixes, because they were some of the best stuff out there, and this stuff is even better, in my opinion. All right, Alicia, have a good night.
Well, definitely start off the plant right. That makes a big difference in your plant.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, right now my 6 Grand Rapids lettuce plants are going friggin' bonkers. I'm gonna have to take a couple of them out because they're producing too much.
that is great.
And so my daughters, I'd given her 4, and they were just really struggling over there because she wasn't watering stuff.
No.
Last week they went.
That's awesome. It's nice when you can just put your garden to your table. It's like makes it.
Now I did do a video. I do have some fertilizer stuff. I use it very, very, very sparingly. I got it years ago. I got a bag of it, about that big, about a 2-pound bag, and I got most of it left. Every year I take 1 tablespoon out of there, and I mix it up with in some water, and I just use a little bit and I just use a little bit when I'm doing my chitting my seeds, because I'll mix it with some with a little bit of Epsom salts for when I'm chitting the seeds, starting them out when I'm on the paper towel to get it to helps them germinate. Mm-hmm. And then when I first plant the plants, I'll have some of that water in a spray bottle. I'll give it a couple spurts, and that's it, on the soil right after I put it back in. And I don't use that stuff any other time. There is something else I do add to my soil.
You'll be back in a second. A little frozen. It's like he'll come back.
That was a lost communication over the camera to the computer, frozen. There's something I do use, and that's the fast-acting gypsum from. I'm trying to remember where I got it from, either from Lowe's or from Home Depot. And I still got a 25-pound bag of it, and I may get some more this spring to put out on the lawn to basically it puts all that calcium. It's calcium is what it is. Puts all that calcium in the soil, so the dandelions don't grow, and I get the grass growing. But all I would do is I'll take a tablespoon of that and a quart jar. I'll put a tablespoon of the fast-acting gypsum in a quart jar. It has a screw on top on it, a small top on it, and I'll shake it up and let it dissolve and stuff. And I'll add a little bit to my tomato plants because I don't eat eggs, so I don't have eggshells to put in the bottom when I plant my tomatoes. So I just add that to it to keep them from getting blossom end rot.
Well, calcium makes a huge difference. It's even the taste of the tomato.
Yeah.
I mean, I noticed that where I barely eat bottomless rot and stuff like that. But when you add a little more calcium, what a difference in the taste of a tomato.
Yeah, I've learned something this winter, and it flies in my long-held belief that red tomatoes are the best. That is that I'm trying to remember what it is that red tomatoes have a lot of. It begins with the letter L, lectin or lecticine or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it basically it bonds to the villi in your intestines and keeps you and can cause problems and stuff. And red tomatoes are really high in it. Orange tomatoes, not so much. Yellow tomatoes, even less. I love the look and flavor. Of course, I haven't had yellow tomatoes or orange tomatoes other than the orange cherry tomatoes, and those are pretty good. So I'm going to see about getting some yellow tomatoes to test them out to see what they taste like.
It's lycopene, by the way.
Yeah.
Lycopene.
She's leptins. That's what Doris says. And they got lycopene. Everybody's in the side chat firing it in there. Yeah. And so, Yeah, it's so I'm going to see if I can get my wife to start a yellow tomato plant this year.
Now, if you have
and Suzanne, you're right. When it's cooked, that gets rid of a lot of it too. That breaks it down. Cooking the tomatoes. But hey, I got grandkids and we love cherry tomatoes. Fortunately, we have the orange cherry tomatoes, which a little bit lower in it. But I'm gonna see if my wife will try a yellow tomato this spring, if she even does it, because there's stuff going on there. She's not even sure she's going to be planting much at all this year. And so, okay, I haven't heard of that one. White tomatoes.
Yeah, try white tomato. You get those at Baker's Creek.
Okay, there's another one to check out. If they taste good, if they taste good enough to me, where Mr. Stubborn here will try them and eat them and like them, then that's one of the things that I'm maybe switching to from the red ones. But there's I was watching several different doctors and stuff on it, and I also looked it up in WebMD to confirm what I was hearing, and several other places as well. And all these ones are saying, the particular one is, reasons not to eat tomatoes raw because they're high in it. So it may be the one. I see the one that says that cooking increases the one. So maybe the other one that's bad for you, and the one that it increases is good, I guess. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. But anyways, the yellow is a lot better for you than the orange. Orange is better for you than the red. And I don't know about the white yet. I got to look into that.
If you want an orange tomato here, like the Sun Gold Select, that's the sweetest tomato you get.
Yeah,
that is the best looking.
Those are cherry tomatoes.
Cherry tomato.
I got a couple of packages from the local nursery here.
That is, if you want one of the best taste. If you ask thousands of gardeners, the Sun Gold will be the
Sun
best
Gold,
tomato you've ever had. A white tomato look like something like that. This is a Napa Chardonnay.
It's kind of a little green on it.
Yeah, it's like a little yellow, but it's a little white. I don't know if you can
that looks cool.
If you want a really good yellow red tomato, go for the gold medal tomato. And they're huge. A lot of the gold red tomatoes are really, really big tomatoes. And this is probably the highest rated tomato you could get for this type. It's called the gold medal. I'm starting tomatoes today, so that's the reason why I had them there. If you want to go for a blackish tomato, for a cherry, go for the black cherry. That's what that looks like.
Yeah. I got a couple of those from you months back. I gave one to my daughter because I got 2 packages in 2 different months, and she goes, "Oh, cool!" And she's going to try growing those, see what those look like.
I will always grow the Sun Gold Select or Sun Gold and the black cherry. Grows great here. People absolutely love them because they're definitely, you can't get them in the shopping store. So hey, they taste them like, oh my god, what is that? That kind of reaction. Yeah, it's good stuff. I got so many tomatoes here. I have over 8.
Paul Robeson?
Yeah, that's a black tomato. That's a very good. That's from New Jersey. He went to actually Rutgers, and he went to the Olympics. Was an actor. He was a big time athlete. So they called it Russia. There was a big thing with Russia. It's a Russian tomato. It's a black tomato, just like a carbon tomato. And it's called the Paul Robeson. It's a little smaller, absolutely great tasting tomato. So like the inside of that looks something like that.
Yeah.
And that's the carbon tomato.
Now I wonder how they are on that
the Brex level?
On that whichever one it is. Hang on a second. Let me bring this up over here. Do it this way here, real quick here. What is the
This
Bad
is
ingredient tomatoes.
here's a black tomato. This is called the Black Beauty. Now, Baker's Creek, when this came out as one of the sweetest tomatoes they ever had. It was one of his favorites. Gears, the owner, he said it was one of the favorite tomatoes he's ever grown, was the Black Beauty. And it's all deep red inside.
Yeah.
These I've been giving out, the atomic grape tomatoes. I find out they're like a little more firmer, and they have a little different taste, but people absolutely love this tomato. I'm in the middle. I've been giving these out. They're actually like $4.50, $5 a packet. But that's the atomic grape tomato. Crazy, right? I mean, yeah, I have over 700 varieties of tomatoes at my house somewhere. I have so many tomatoes, it's freaking out. It's crazy. The last couple of years, I just kept on buying them. This tomato, they actually grew in outer space. This was the Heinz tomato, but this was part of the tomato spear.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to find that one. I'm getting, the one thing that lycopene. Even the one article, one hand is saying there are reports that say it's good for you and it's an antioxidant. Other reports saying it's bad for you, it causes this, and this. And it says lycopene can also increase the risk of bleeding and must be avoided by people with bleeding disorders.
People absolutely love this tomato. It's getting more out there. It's called a Nor tomato. It's a green tomato, but look at that inside. But people are absolutely loving this tomato.
Yeah.
It's from M.I. Gardner. And these were really highly recommended to me. This is from Fruition Seeds.
Yeah.
This is called the Cherry Embler.
Ooh.
It looks like.
Got a little bit of orange in there.
This is a Dancing with Smurfs. I handed those out from the Ukrainian seeds.
Right.
It looks like.
Cool. Yeah, actually, let me see.
Honey Drop.
I'll make you bigger there. There.
And that's Honey Drop. Here. Another old German. That's a good tomato. I just might as well put them out there. Amanda tomato. The German Johnson tomato is really huge tomato. Let me see. I had really good success with this tomato. This is the rose tomato.
Cool.
I usually try to grow that every year. Let me see what else I got. Oh. I don't know. I can keep on going on and on if you want.
Everybody seems to be loving it.
Oh, awesome. You know what? Let me hold on. I'll show you some more tomatoes in a second.
Yeah. Hey, Star, how's it going? And I'm back up here. Yeah. It'd be interesting to figure out which of the which tomato is actually the healthiest for us. I know it's flavors. Flavor is unfortunately something that we go for as humans. It'd be interesting which one is the most healthiest for us, and whether it's healthier raw or cooked. It's one of the things that my wife wants to do is, she's interested in is canning tomato sauces, being able to can and make tomato sauces and making and cooking and stewing tomatoes to go in recipes.
This is a new tomato from Baker's Creek. This is the Pink Fang.
Yeah. We had Star confused there because I had you up there by yourself, and he's wondering, what?
This is a tomato that they're trying to get out there from Baker's Creek and giving up for free seed. It's a spoon tomato.
Yeah, I got the spoon tomato. Oh,
That's
those are real small ones. Okay, because someone said those are very prolific. It's a thinner vine than any other tomato I've grown. It's growing almost like a passion fruit vine growing up, like my wife has, and she may want to plant it there where she has the big, huge trellis for it to grow up on. But it's definitely not one that it's already 2 feet taller than the Grandero tomato.
It's just they're so hard to pick though because they're so small. Certain ones aren't ready, certain ones are, and that was my biggest problem growing them. There's just too many. You can't just keep on picking one and one. You got to go by branches because there's so many.
Yeah,
this tomato is awesome. Absolutely love this tomato. This is the Missouri Pink Love Apple.
Cool.
And this is another tomato I will always grow every year. This is the Hungarian Heart.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
This is Sunrise Bumblebee.
Ooh, that looks nice. That is nice.
Yeah, it is a really good tomato. This is a new one from Baker's Creek. This is the Prairie Fire.
Ooh, that is colorful.
This is the German Pink. Another big tomato. You always wanted to grow those huge tomatoes. Korean Long.
Almost looks like a pepper.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to grow. I might just grow one plant of that and check that out.
Idaho Garden Girl says Sunrise Bumblebee is good.
Oh, it's very good. If you want to just grow a hybrid, that's the Celebration tomato. So they grow about 5 feet and bush out. It's a determinate tomato. This is an excellent cherry tomato.
Whoa!
So they grow like in vines like that. I have a lot of success growing that. I absolutely love growing the Super Sweet 100. And it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun.
Yeah, my grandsons would love that. Whenever they have the tomatoes over here, they come over and try to pick them over here.
This is the Orange Jazz. So that's a little different color there. Now, I didn't really like this tomato, so don't buy it. Abe Lincoln. So these are all heirlooms.
Cool.
All right, here's hot pepper.
That's spiral.
That's a little hot.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
When it comes to peppers, I want to get a. I like my hot sauces and stuff mild. I just like stuff with a little, just enough to give me a little bit of flavor and stuff. Probably the hottest thing I like is Tabasco's chipotle sauce.
Right. That's good. That's fine. That's good. Nobody should be scared to grow anything hot, or if you can handle hot. When you dehydrate those peppers, it makes so much of a difference. This was a good tomato from Burpee. This is the Burpee's Super Steak Hybrid.
Okay.
So, I don't think they grow as big as some of the other tomatoes I have. I think that's, marketing. That's all that is. They really try to market this tomato from Burpee right here, the Bodacious Hybrid. I find those tomatoes about 8 ounces, 10 ounces, not over a pound. I never really had that much success with growing that tomato for that kind of weight.
Jujubee's getting on you, Joe.
What's Juliana saying? St. Patrick's over your head, Joe. I love Juliana. Juliana's great.
Yeah.
Juliana and I have been friends for a while, and she sends me all of her stuff on Facebook over to me. I try to answer. I'm like, I have a pile of work like this big. I'm still trying to end the month of February, and and I'll always answer Juliana, but she got very little period of time. But she sends me these pictures of her daughter, and I think she's remarkable. I think it's a great family, and she does all by her husband's in the military. So she's by herself, doing her whole family by herself and doing everything. So I give a lot of credit to Juliana. Juby. This is another great tomato. I know you can't really see the picture, but yeah. This is a really good tomato. Now, when you buy tomato seeds from the Ukraine, this is important to know. They get very little disease because of the temperature, humidity. They get very little disease. So when they get these seeds, they're really healthy seeds. They germinate great. They really germinate great. And that's very important. If you get seeds from, I don't know, New Jersey, for example, and you get a lot of late blight diseases, some of those seeds are not going to be healthy. So you want that whoever is going to grow these seeds, you want to make sure they grow them from a great environment, and that's the reason why I like Nicovica seeds.
Cool.
That's very important to know, by the way. When you buy seeds from Fruition, some of this you could tell when they go, "Oh, we had late blight disaster." Well, that gives you a little clue. If some late blight, early blight, it spreads really rapidly, right? So if they have bad tomatoes somewhere in that environment, it probably chained on after a little while. So don't buy seeds for them during that year. And I've never heard anybody say that before, but I think that's very important to know. You want to buy healthy seeds wherever you go.
Yeah.
And that usually happens a lot when you get San Marzano tomatoes. So San Marzano, that's very important to know where you're going to get your San Marzano tomatoes from. So that's where you make your sauces and everything. So, that's very important. Because why buy it? Like I said, if you're going to spend all this time and money, well, it's not very little money to get seeds. But if you're spending all that time on your garden, why would you want to have it out there for 3 weeks? You want to have that long season with those tomatoes, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's one of the things that I'm going to be. I know my wife has started doing this in California, but when she gets here, we'll be doing it for all together. Is like when we find the tomato plants we really like, and we have a plant that really produces good tomatoes, we're going to take a couple of those tomatoes and save the seeds from it.
Right, that's important. I got a whole bunch over here. This is pretty cool. This is a very good tomato. I've grown this. This is a terracotta tomato, and that's what that looks like.
Hang on.
Holy seed companies, jeez. Oh, I don't have a picture of this, but I highly recommend it. The Marvel striped tomato. A fascinating looking tomato, super sweet. I love these on sandwiches. That's one of my favorite. If you want to go, I might have gave Juliana these seeds, but I'm not sure. But this is the girls weird thing tomato.
Yeah.
What a name for that, right?
Yeah.
I got to grow that just for the name.
Okay, so Doris, here's your screenshot from the day after tomorrow. And Julie says, perfect.
I'm trying to show pictures that have pictures because a lot of them don't have pictures. Like Fetco is a very good tomato company to get seeds from. Let me see.
All right, I'm going to throw something up here real quick here. All right, so those who are asking there, this week, it looks like I said it backwards. So the collective has lost 36 pounds from the beginning, and the ungrateful losers have lost 37 pounds from the very beginning. So that's what we're looking at here. So actually, the ungrateful losers are ahead by 1 point. They've lost 1 more pound. Had it backwards.
I got a lot of seeds to go over. I'm trying to make it simple this year, but every time I go through seeds, it makes it so difficult because I have so many. Like, which ones do you really want to grow? Because my main goal this year is growing the 650 varieties of hot peppers. You know, you only got so much land because I got to make sure I spend a lot of time on things that I want to grow for my family. You know, your watermelon, your cantaloupes, you know, your spinach, and those kind of things. I can't just spend it on me.
One of the things that is interesting, a friend of ours here in Idaho gave my daughter a bunch of big cantaloupe, and she had too many. She had too many for her to eat because she gave them a bunch, like a big box full of them. So she gave me a couple of them, and I saved the seeds from one of them. I planted seeds last year, and I got some decent size cantaloupe in a bad area. You know, but it wasn't growing good. You know, the stuff wasn't as good of an area where it should have been.
Right.
But I still got some big cantaloupes, and they were delicious. And I'm not sure what brand they are, and everything else. So, but I got a jar with about that. You know, one of those small salsa jars. You know, like the Newman's Own salsa jars that are about that big around.
Right. And
it's got about a 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch of seeds in the bottom. And so once I get our new garden area all set up and we get the trellis works built for like we want, trellising up the cantaloupe like we want to do, then we'll plant some of those and see if we can get the same results, big monster ones, in some good soil. And if we do, then I'll be harvesting a bunch of those seeds, and I'll be able to drop those in a regular envelope and mail them out to people.
There you go. Here, I got a couple more tomatoes before, because it's probably gonna go off soon.
Okay.
This is the black truffle. That's a very good tomato. I highly recommend that. Alice's Dream. Now, I get these seeds from Bunny Hop, and I really trust the person there. She experiences a lot of getting seeds from all over the world, and I really trust her. So if you ever go to Bunny Hop, I highly recommend it. This seed's from Burpee. Honeycomb. You can buy that seed anywhere. It's Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever. The Purple Bumblebee, which is a fascinating tomato. And two more. Oh, one more. The Juliet. If you're looking for a grape tomato, that's the tomato you want to go to. That is my number one go-to grape tomato, is the Juliet. For Juliana. Jujubi. But that's the number one grape tomato that I always grow. And if you were looking for a huge paste tomato, it could grow to 2 pounds. It's the goat bag tomato. I'm not kidding you. It's called the goat bag tomato.
Goat bag.
It's freaking crazy.
Some of the names people come up with are interesting.
Well, look at this one. Since you're naming that one, this is called the West Virginia sweet meat.
Oh,
that's a big whopper too of a tomato. So, yeah. so that's some tomatoes I have, but yeah, the goat bag. I'm telling you, you got to get the goat bag to me. If you guys have a chance, grow one plant of it. You might only get 7-8 tomatoes, but the tomatoes I've grown have ranged from 1.5 pounds to 3 pound tomatoes. I mean, just absolutely huge. It's like almost the size of my head. Freaking unbelievable.
I mean, you only need 1 or 2 tomatoes from a plant, when they're that big.
It's funny. I got pictures somewhere in my files. I gotta show you guys. It's freaking insane. Got to get the goat bag tomato. Just grow for the name. That and a girls weird thing tomato. And if you're from West Virginia, you got to grow the sweet meat.
Oh yeah. All right. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. A little bit later than I wanted to. I got to be. I got to go babysit tomorrow over across the street from the grandkids. So I need to make sure I get my rest because they love to wear a grandpa out. And so, final thing coming up here. All right. So, this Friday being Good Friday and stuff. I'm not sure. On Wednesday, I'm going to put out a poll on my community tab, and I will put it out there and around. I'll put out a little video on it to people to go vote whether or not you guys want me to go live on Friday. Next, not tomorrow, but next Tuesday. The topic's going to be wet or dry food storage. So that's going to be there. So we got some good, interesting stuff up tomorrow, and some other stuff coming up here. And if anybody has any topics they want to see brought up here, down in the description at the very bottom is my email. Just email me some ideas. And that way I can add it to my chart here. I got through May 5th all scheduled out already. But if it's a really good one, I can reorganize stuff around really easy. So let's see what we got here. All righty, folks. Thank you, Joe, for coming up here. Thank you, everybody in your side chat, for your comments and your contributions to the topic tonight. And we will see you hopefully tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Eastern, over on my other channel, Gray. And I froze. Gray Man Prepping. That's Gray with an A. And we'll see you around.
Good night, guys. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.